Hello and welcome to another episode of the Contractor Growth Show. My name is Mark, and today I have the pleasure of speaking with Alex Jamarillo, a Guarantee Construction Group that's in Plymouth, Minnesota, as well as located here in Denver, where we are. So, Alex, thank you so much for being on the show today.
Thank you, Mark. I appreciate the invitation. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, fantastic, man. So we've talked a little bit here before the show, and we've done some research here on the company, and looked like you guys have got a great kind of thriving business here. We talked, they've got mid-sized teams, a dozen, 15 guys in each locations, doing more roofing up in the Minnesota area and doing more roofing in the Colorado area and more kind of drywall, painting, this kind of stuff in Minnesota. Maybe you can tell me just a little bit about the history of the business and what you guys are up to today.
Yeah, so we pretty much started in 2009 after the house market crash. I was in the mortgage business for 10, 11 years. And then when 2008 happened, it got to a point that what are we going to do? I've always been an entrepreneur. I've always been a salesperson. So obviously we crashed. So all of a sudden, one friend of mine who was actually one of my lenders in the mortgage side called me all of a sudden and say, "Hey, I'm a manager of a roofing company. I would love to have you as a salesperson." I was like, I don't know anything about roofing. I had no knowledge of roofing or construction whatsoever. I always been in corporate America, always been in mortgage and financing. But I was like, you know what? I got to feed my family some way, somehow. I'm like, yeah, I tried. So I went, it was a company from Minnesota, actually. And so I got an interview. I got hired as a salesperson. I got 2 weeks training in the roofing industry. And a big storm happened in Denver. So it was from Coral Springs to Chaminade or across the state. It was a huge storm back in 2009. And then, so I went to Colorado and I killed it. I did good. I learned the business. In 6 months, I think I saw over $3 million in business.
Incredible. So this was a big hailstorm or?
Yeah, hailstorm.
So came through Colorado, huge hailstorms, came through and damaged tons of roofs, and you guys were just right on it.
Correct. So I went with a company with Minnesota, and then I always been an entrepreneur. My current business partner who live in Denver, he live in Erie. I always said I went, got my license, took my adjusted license as well. And then I just decided to open our own business in Denver. My business partner moved from Minnesota to Denver, moved off his family. My family stayed here, so I was traveling every week for 7 years, back and forth. We are building a roofing business, and that's how we start there. And we got really educated in the area. We learned how to do the job, and not only that, we both have background in sales, and the rest is just customer service. And I love Denver. My whole point at that time was to get my company started and move my family from Minnesota, but that didn't happen in my case. My business partner did. Yeah.
That's great. Your business, is that Dan?
Dan Odenthal, yeah.
Dan, okay, great. Yeah. Fantastic. Did Dan know the business pretty well, or was he also a newbie? He knew it.
At that point, we both were newbie in the business. We learned, like I said, I tried to educate myself in the regular. So I told Dan, we start figuring out the company office and things. I'm gonna get educated better because I want to provide good service, right? And I'm a big believer that everything is about customer service and how you treat your customers, right? And how you get repeat business that way. And I want to be very knowledgeable of what I was doing, right? Especially when I didn't have that much of background in construction. So I was in disadvantage with a lot of people. So
that's amazing. And so, Alex, I actually want to dig into that a little bit. That's fascinating. And I talk with really smart construction company owners that have, in many cases, pivoted from another industry that they worked in many cases, totally unrelated. So we've talked with a number of guys who were in finance, for instance, and they pivoted into construction. Now they've got a great construction business. You came from a totally different industry in finance, in banking, in the mortgage industry, 2008, that all collapsed, whatever. I assume that you, being a smart businessman and being thoughtful, really looked at the numbers of having a construction company, having a roofing and remodeling company, And did it appeal to you, not that you just fell into it, did it actually appeal to you a level as a business decision? Is that how you approach this? Do you look at the numbers and say, I think there's actually something here. I can see how this works to be a great business, to be a great business decision for me to move into this, as opposed to the many other things you could have done?
Yes, correct. You nail it right there. The way I look at things is that what is good, what is going to be better in the long run, not in the short run, in the long run. So I look at the roofing industry as it's not economical driven. It's a storm, right? Doesn't matter how the economy does. You always have to have insurance in the home, right? So at the end of the day, so it's the longevity of the work and how much that we can build a business that is not economic driven. And I was not as scared, not like afraid, coming from the mortgage business after what happened in 2008 and everything. A lot of mortgage companies, that even ourselves, our mortgage company went down just because of the market. So I was like, I think this is a safe bet for us to get into this business. And yeah, I just dove in and started learning and educate myself as much as I can. I took a lot of different courses and certifications in the inspection side, on the insurance side, which was very important for our business, just to learn how the insurance company operates and how can we maximize that for helping the homeowners and the customers. How can we help them with the claim process, right? It's a lot of people that wasn't educated enough to learn how to navigate that process, which can be a little bit complicated sometimes.
Fascinating. And yeah, I saw that's where a lot of you guys' business comes from. And is it what percentage of, say, your roofing business comes from like insurance claims?
So from our roofing business right now, 80% is coming from insurance claims. We do another 20% for retail. We do a lot of commercial in Denver. Minnesota, like I said, we are mainly a painting, drywall, and finished carpentry. So we don't have no insurance stuff here. But in Denver, yeah, 80% come from insurance storms. In Denver, with the weather, it can happen 1 or 2 storms a year, depending on how the years go. But yeah.
Amazing. So there again, you pivoted from that industry that was really subject to the economy and whatnot, and have actually figured out how within the construction industry here to be dealing with insurance that's really required and really is just not economy driven at all.
Correct.
It's more like nature driven. Okay, fantastic.
Correct. So just natural events. And we always gonna have storms, and again, everybody had to have insurance as well on the property. So that was more, and it was part of this. Is now the customers' involvement is crucial, but at the same time, the insurance company is the ones who's paying for this damage, because the customer's been paying insurance for years. So it was very feasible for us to just dive into that and saying that this is very secure business, a good business, and an opportunity to help the community, help educate the people in the claims system.
How did you guys go about creating the 2 different branches? So you guys are in Minnesota, you're in Colorado.
Yeah. So that, like I say, I live in Minnesota. My wife is from Minnesota. My kids born in Minnesota. In 2015, my best friend and brother, he passed away years back, but he was very successful business owner here. He called me and say, Alex, you need to be home. You're losing a lot of time with your family. Because I was every week in Denver, right? I was taking 2 planes a week, and it's just only a weekend. I come home for the weekend, and that's how my kids saw me, just in the weekends, and my wife. So he's like, you need to be here. I can give you an office space in a warehouse open in Minnesota. And so in 2015, I did. I moved to his office and warehouse, and I opened the painting and drywall company here. So I talked to Dan and say, Dan, I've been doing this traveling for a long time here. I need to pay attention to my family. What about if we open Minnesota? I take care of Minnesota, you take care of Denver, and let's give it a try and see what happens. I know I'm very confident that I can make that work. I can start from scratch, and we can make a good money, have good contacts in the painting, cruise wise, in the labor, especially being Hispanic. I have a lot of contacts in that labor force, and a lot of people trust me because I speak the same language. And so I had that, and my friend he was in the flooring business, and he built out his restoration company and everything. And he gave me a job. He gave me a hotel back to the front, say, we got these hotels, let's do it together. And that in 2015, that's how I opened Guarantee Construction here. And then I moved from Denver. I was like, I travel once a month to Denver. We'll figure it out. And yeah, it's been a long time now. And yeah, we will happy and we'll keep going. I'm looking now to open in Florida. So I don't want to spend
really
winters
seriously
in Minnesota no more. Yes.
Are you guys seriously thinking about that? Open another branch in Florida?
So, yes. Yeah. That's our plan.
Wow.
We look into it. We already licensed in Florida for roofing.
Okay.
I would like to do our general license there as well for the painting and drywall and the kind of the.
Oh man, amazing. So how will you guys deal with that? Will you spend time in Florida? So you're married, you have 3 kids. Your kids are pretty well grown at this point, right?
Yeah.
Does that affect things moving forward with work? You've still got your community and your family and stuff, but now that the kids are grown, does it give you more options to travel some more? For instance, open one in Florida? Is that?
It does. And the whole reason why I couldn't move to Denver when it was my plan, it was because my daughter were at that time 15. She was like, no, I'm not moving. I have my friends, I have my school, I have everything. My wife is very close to her family. So I didn't want to kind of damage that or get my kids in a different environment. I know how I feel because, again, I'm originally from Colombia. I moved from Colombia to Mexico, United States, and changing culture, changing homes, changing things. It's tough. It's hard, right, to adapt. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to do it to my kids. That's why I travel. But now that my kids are older, my daughter is 25. I have a 21 and an 18. They are in college. They're doing their own stuff. They're getting their own lives, and it's easier for my wife and I just to say, okay, let's in the winters, because I want to move just for the winters. So I'm not very happy with the winters here in Minnesota.
Yeah, I totally understand. Yeah, man. We've spent a lot of time in Mexico and actually Colombia, and love those places. And it's great to be in the sun in the winter, huh?
Yeah, I just get back from Colombia a couple days back, and that's the other thing too. It's very close. It's easier for me from Florida to Colombia than Minnesota to Colombia. So travel wise and my family and things like that.
Beautiful. Fantastic. Alex, so can I ask, what's the timeline and kind of plans on opening up in Florida? Is that going to be here in the next year or?
We are right now, as we speak, getting things ready. I'm going to be traveling there probably like within the 2 months and trying to figure out areas. I have contacts there that they're already there doing roofing and doing the painting and the remodel. So I'm going to have a lot of meetings there, figure out what it will be the best area to put an office and start running the numbers. And I think within the 2 years, we will be in Florida for sure.
Amazing. And you don't know which city yet, or you do?
My goal, honestly, I want to be in Naples, in the Naples area, just because a lot of the people traveling there, they have a lot of second homes and we can maintenance that and painting that. So I feel like it's a little more business in that area as well. But that's the goal I've been looking to in Orlando or between Orlando and Naples. So we'll see what is going to be better. But yeah, within the 2 years, that's where we're looking to start teeing up for that.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Alex, great to hear the story about the business, man. I love how you kind of things changed in the industry that you were working in. You made some really smart decisions about, I want to really look at this and look at the numbers of this. And after doing that and considering probably some other options as well, you decided to get into this. Sure enough, kind of some of the timing was right and you had a great launch into it. And then you and your partner worked it out in the different locations and are now considering opening in Florida and growing even more here in the next year or two. I love the business story. It's just great to hear more about what you guys are up to.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you for the opportunity to even tell that story. This is a crazy business. It's not easy. It's a roller coaster, up and downs. You have good years, bad years, but it's very rewarding and be able to help people in having people like yourself give us the opportunity or give us the platform to even tell a story. It's huge for us. So I appreciate it.
That's great. Fantastic. Alex, if folks are in Plymouth, Minnesota, and Denver, or soon to be potentially in Naples or Orlando, and they're looking for a great roofing / kind of remodel painting company, how would they get in touch with you guys?
In Minnesota, you guys can call 612-490-4175. That's the number here. Or you can go to gcgmn.com. That's our website, and they can go through all that. In Denver, if you guys got to reach them, Denver, you can go to 303-587-2121. Dan Odenthal, my business partner in the staff, running everything in the roofing, and that's gcgamerica.com for the website in Denver.
America.com. Right. Guarantee Construction Group, gcgamerica.com.
Yes.
Okay. Perfect. Okay, Alex, thanks again for being on the show today. Guys, if you're looking for some help in those areas, please give Alex a call. And we'd love to have you on the show here at some point in the future. Thank you, man.
Thank you very much, Mark, for the invitation. I appreciate it.